is that?
Remember Star Wars Episode 3, that one scene where he's just like, "Rise, Lord Vader." That's what I feel like when we put this black car on the lift. It's just like...
Oh my god. Okay, wait. We gotta make this an actual thing. Lord Vader, can you hear me?
Okay.
That's not the next line.
No!
Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Boxer Baddies. We are here at the Boxer Baddies garage with Carlos's STI. Yes, so we did an initial first video, and that first video basically included us picking out parts to build this STI. Now, unfortunately, there is a catch. We were going to be building this entire engine out. We were gonna do pistons, we were gonna do springs, retainers, everything, making this capable of about 600 horsepower without having to close deck the block. That ended up having to get scrapped. I know we made such a cool video on the last video about building this car and picking out all the parts and everything, but you know, this man's has big plans in the future, and I understand, you know, we got a ball on a budget. That's how every build is usually, so not a big deal at all. But we are still going to do clutch, flywheel, and AOS. Yeah, so he is getting an air oil separator, so that is gonna be really nice. Air oil separation.
It's a little bit easier to do it on these than the Raptor Eyes. The Raptor Eyes have all the PCV plugs. These just go straight to the breather.
Yeah,
it's a little bit different, but
we got this. We got this. So big dubs in the chat. We're gonna get this done. There is a really big problem that actually basically led us to this point right now, and let me show you what that is. All right, what's going on?
Something isn't going on. What isn't going on?
I know, dude.
Because this should not be able to move freely, so clearly something's wrong.
Yes.
We've got the piece, little push rod that goes against it. Usually on these, they click in with the wave spring, and like once you have it in right, you kind of pull the fork and you hear a click, and it means that the wave spring is connected to the throw-up bearing. I'm suspecting it's some kind of throw-up bearing, maybe wave spring problem.
I don't know. I want to say there might be something wrong with the fork.
Maybe. There's one way to find out.
So it's either the fork, wave spring, or the throw-out bearing, right?
Yeah, and the new throw-out bearing, you got a new one, right?
It should have come with the kit. Let's check. Anyways, before we check and split this thing open, comment down below what you think is wrong. Is it the wave spring? Is it the clutch fork? Or is it the throw-out bearing?
Or is it the lack of LS swap?
Oh! All right, so he has his parts back here. So let's see what we got. Okay, so this is our pressure plate. Ooh. An air oil separator. Shout out IAG. There's the clutch disc. Please tell me that there is a throw-out bearing in here, or we... Oh! Ah, yeah. All right, so we got that there. We have our clutch alignment tool. Boom. Bop. Bam.
Beep. Boop. Bop.
Bam. Oh! All right, dude, let's get this thing on the rack. Let's just get started. Let's go. Oh,
they were in the key box?
Okay, so we are in the new Boxer Baddies garage. Yes, I'm sure you guys saw the video. If you haven't seen it, you really need to see it, of us moving out of the old Boxer Baddies garage and into here. We've got Stella sitting pretty. She's gonna watch us while we do the transmission today. So we got Carlos's STI. Let's get it in the shop. Okay, so we have the car on the lift. We're gonna go ahead and start working on it. We're gonna take off the starter and get everything organized up here, including the pitch stop mount. That's gotta come off, and we'll get this trans out of here. So the key to building any car is you gotta be organized. So what I do is I basically take a little plastic bag and a little index card, pitch stop right there, boom, our pitch stop bolts are out, and that is how you stay organized. Honestly, it could save you hours if you're organized like this. Okay, so now that it's jacked up, you can see this is the last little bolt on the starter that I need to do to get this out. It's actually why I jacked the car up. And then to get this transmission out, all you gotta do is axles. So we gotta get the wheels off, pull the axles off, downpipe has to come off, and then we can't forget about the shifter linkage and the drive shaft. And so that's gonna come off as well.
O2 sensor as well.
O2 sensor, yes. And then we're good to go. All right, so what just happened?
All right, so upon trying to take off the wheels, we found out that one of them was seized. We have it right over.
Yeah, I remember pulling it off. It's that one. No, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. It's right here. Right here. All right. Yeah, I pulled it off. It's still hot. Dude, it literally just ripped it right off.
I think someone over tightened it, but that's an easy fix. We'll just, because we have to take all this stuff off anyways. So we'll just get it to the hub, take off the brake, rotor, pad, smack it out, go down the street, get a new one, smack it in. No
Sweet.
problem.
Well, that's the first time I've actually had that happen on an STI.
Yeah, I've had, I mean, it's the same probability to happen on every car, I guess maybe except for Germans because they use like the
going
bolts.
in.
But, yeah, it happens. Especially you see all this white stuff here. I know he works on boats, so I'm thinking he might have like some sea salt corrosion on it that contributed to it, to kind of making it a little bit stucker, but it's not anything that we can't handle.
Yeah,
it's fine.
We got it. Yeah. Okay, got the downpipe coming out here. Got the O2 sensor out here, and he has an interesting setup as far as his cat bat goes. It's got like this this triangle formation. That's very atypical for an STI. So
it's almost like you just got the O2 housing, and then
yeah, because he's got this.
Because this looks stock. Otherwise, you're not gonna get the vacuum.
But that is welded on. I don't know.
This might be.
Does that have a cat in it? It does.
High flow? High flow cat?
Yeah.
No, there aren't just spirals. These are cores. High flow cats are usually spirals.
Weird. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Dude, that honestly could be restricting him quite a bit of...
Yeah, we should get him a downpipe.
No, we should hollow it out because now you can't buy catless downpipes.
What?
EPA law, you cannot... They don't allow distribution companies to sell those anymore.
As of when?
As of February 30th.
Bruh, look at this dude.
Nah, fam.
Cannot buy catless downpipes anymore.
Get out of
here. And you know what else you can't buy?
Did you say off-road only, not street legal California?
No, it's banned now. You know what else is banned? TGV and EGR.
What?
Yes.
God damn!
Got the starter pulled out. Oh yeah. Okay, so now we have the lower control arms and the tie rods disconnected. That way we can pull them out and move the entire assembly here away from the transmission, and it will actually free up the axle enough that we can slip it out right there. So these are pretty cool. They just pop out. I do have to say, I really do like the German style where they actually unbolt right here.
Yeah, because then you don't lose fluid like that.
Yeah, because when we pull these, we're actually going to lose some trans fluid, so we're probably going to have to add some more. Anyways, that's where we're at now, so we're going to do that. We got to undo the shifter linkage.
Everything in baggies.
Hey, we got everything organized.
Recommended that you get new cotter pins, just saying.
Oh yeah, there are cotter pins on the top of the tie rod, and then at the bottom of the rear control arm right here, you can see where the cotter pin actually goes through. We do have to do the linkage.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we're pretty much almost ready to, we just got to unbolt the bell housing bolts and the transmission's ready to come out.
The linkage, when we're putting it back, it has to be in position before we actually start raising the trans.
Yep.
Because we've already made a video like this. It's a lot easier than the first time.
Yep. Oh, and then we just drive shaft and then that's it.
Easy.
Are you down?
Down, always down.
How down are you?
Baby, are you down? All right, let's do it.
Is that, you know, that might be on the cringe comp.
I'm a cringe person.
That's almost that was like dedicated wham right there.
What's your favorite cube in Minecraft? Alright, so pry bar, if you put it right behind this, there's this little bump that you can kind of get it right perfectly in between, and just, you can see it's already starting to pop out. I'll probably have Ethan put the camera down and hop on the other side, just to pull the weight off of the suspension.
Yep.
And that confirms that we would definitely need some.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna need some replacement gear oil there.
Axle's right about to pop out.
Awesome.
So we just pop it out, pull the weight off of it, so it'll kind of be a little bit easier, and do the same thing for the other side.
Okay, so we're getting ready to pull the transmission out. We got all of the transmission bracing off, and now we are securing the transmission to our jack here. We're pretty much ready to go. All the bell housing bolts are out. We're gonna just disconnect the wiring harness, which we forgot to do, and then this baby's coming out of here. All right, guys, so we just got back from a tool run. There were a couple things that we needed for this STI, which included a little hex kit. We need the 10mm hex because there is the side bolt that comes off to open basically the little witness hole to pull the pin out where the clutch fork is. We also had to get a couple other things. We needed a smaller torque wrench for the pressure plate bolts. We also needed a little pump because we're gonna have to replace some of his trans fluid, some PB blaster, of course, and the trans fluid itself. And then we also have Adrian coming in. Oh, what is that?
For you.
Oh, snap, let's go. Dude, that is awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, so we are back after a little tool run. You can see over there, we now have a pull jack.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, screw the jack. Look at this. This is a beautiful Focus ST. I'm actually gonna roll the fenders real quick while Christian continues on the clutch situation over here. So, what's up, man?
Key.
How long have you owned this?
Like a year or two.
Nice. It looks good, man. It's got the carbon vents and everything.
All right, guys, so let me give you a little POV of what we're doing here. You can see right there next to the starter hole is where the 14-inch hex came to cover that. So you just get a bolt, slide it in there, and then just by pulling it, it'll start sliding out, and then you can get a screwdriver and hammer and kind of tap it out. But we're aiming to get that off, which connects that fork right there, which actuates the throwout bearing. So once you get out that, all the bell housing bolts, as you can see, are already out, so this trans can come out, and then we can go in and change clutch.
All right, are we ready to pull this trans out?
Hopefully.
All right, let's get it. We're gonna hand John the camera. John is gonna film us while we pull this thing out. Let me make sure it's at 60 frames per second real quick.
Thinking of kind of hard to steering shaft right there.
Should just slide right out.
Yeah, that's always the thing with these. That's me some pain in the ass.
There we go.
Just needs to separate.
Turbo?
I didn't separate it?
No.
All right, hold on. No separation at all?
That's what I'm saying. You're being really...
Do that. That should just pop right out. Okay, so we're actually having a tough time getting this transmission to separate from the engine, and we've pretty much figured out that it's most likely the rusted dowel pin or the rusted guide pin that you see right at the edge of the light right there. And so we basically looked online on some forums, and they said the best way to get it out is some heat. So we're gonna try that, and we'll go from there.
I'm done playing games.
Twenty minutes later.
Okay, so we tried the torch and it didn't work, but we only did it for maybe 15 seconds on each side. So now we're basically going to
Full send.
full send. We're gonna hold the torch there for about a minute on each side, and then we're gonna just shake the crap out of this thing. So let's get it.
Felt like it was.
Hold up, hold up, hold up.
Are we separating?
Maybe.
It feels like it.
Hold on, where's it?
Oh, wait.
Me. Are you kidding me?
Nothing?
Nothing.
You know how many bleeps I have to put into this video because of your language? I'm gonna have to put an option that says not suitable for kids. But yeah, I agree, this is pretty jack.
That's, I mean, never seen shit like this, dude. Anything?
No.
This is
Huh.
bro.
Let's go! Let's go! Yo, what do we got? We got separation up
There
there?
ain't any, but I'm gonna see if I can heat up around the trans.
I want you to get as excited as you can without making this child...
I am so sorry with my cursing language. Let me just apologize to all the parents of YouTube right now if you're recording. It's not a thing. I'm not trying to set the example, but we do kind of get frustrated a lot, and I curse a lot. So there will be a lot of bleeping, specifically from me. Kids, don't curse at home. You can do all this other stuff. I encourage you working on cars. Just don't curse like me. It's a bad habit, and I'm aware of it.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of bleeps in this episode.
I'm sorry. I'm personally, because it's all me. It's all me. I'm sorry.
You don't have anything to say about this?
I'm disappointed.
In Christian?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you can go.
All right, ready? All right, go. Oh, baby, we're getting there. All right, I want to try and wedge this. All right, just keep going, keep going. Let me check this real quick. There is separation right up here.
I wish
Right where
this
the light is.
transmission was like my parents and would separate already.
Yo, that's deep, bro. That's deep.
That's
That's deep.
I have bad sense of
dude, that's terrible. This is really not made for kids, bro. Come on. Raise the trans.
This whole thing is just hanging right now.
You little T-pose.
It literally was the dowel pins the whole
Yeah.
time.
This is me 60 seconds into not saying a swear word.
What the? The baby's coming! We made progress. The baby.
Bro, we're pretty much out. Dude, that's all right. Now we're on the steps. The dowel pins are no longer a problem. Let's lift it, push it, pull it straight out, and we'll be good.
So in medical terminology, where's the baby?
The baby got arrested, bro. I don't know how to tell you.
The baby got arrested? It is arresting?
That baby. Like the rapper, the baby?
Let's go. Dude, this is such
Alrighty,
garbage. This thing's gonna just drop. Oh,
Is that it?
yeah.
Jesus.
Yes, we got that on video. We got that on video.
Let's get this.
Keep going. Stop. Okay. All right. Nothing. All right, guys.
That was a pain in the
That was a pain in the butt. All right, so basically, oh wait, did he break the? Oh, dude.
Tell me, input Jeff.
Dude, he snapped the. What even happened, dude? He snapped the whole mechanism. Let me show you what it's supposed to look like. This is what a throwout bearing, or what's called the release bearing, is supposed to look like. It has two of these little arms that attach on the fork. And the entire little arm broke off. That's crazy. So those of you guys that commented that it was gonna be a broken release or throwout bearing, you were right. And that's kind of what I thought it would be. It was either the fork or that, because basically the fork would play around by itself with no attachment to the wave spring. Because what happens is you have your wave spring right here on your pressure plate, and we'll use the new one. When this comes in from the clutch fork, it snaps right into place there. We don't want to snap it now, but it basically snaps into there and stays there, and the actual arm snapped. And you can see that the aftermarket, this is from ACT, is a little bit more reinforced and looks a lot nicer than this. And it looks like this one was ready to go too. It's completely messed up. So that will definitely cause you a big problem, and it rendered his car undrivable because of this piece right here. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this back in the car and let's get it. What are you doing right now, Christian?
I am taking off the last bolt on the pressure plate, so
All right.
soon we'll be able to see, well I guess right now, how bad the friction surface is, which I don't think it will be too bad. Alright, there we go.
All right, let's see.
Alrighty, boys and girls.
of fiber around. I think we'll be
Alright, let's take
Oh, he had a 6-puck. Wait, what's this? He had a 6-puck. He's
we got a
already.
6-puck bound to the rivets.
He's already on. He's
This
metal
is
on
on,
metal.
this is on pressure plate side. This isn't even
Dude, that thing is
That thing's done.
toasted.
KO'd.
Toasted.
pressure plate fried.
Toasted. The
See how rough
flywheel
it
was
is? Look at all
toasted
this
too.
fiber on it.
Let's look at the pressure or the flywheel. Oh, dude, big toasted. So we're taking off the flywheel bolts now. So we're gonna just do that one at a time. And yeah, those are the new pieces that are going in. All right, let's take this guy off. And that is your OEM STI flywheel. All right, so what we're doing right now is we're lubricating the new parts, getting them ready to go back into the car. We are going to reuse the clutch fork on this one. He opted not to go with the new clutch fork, and I think it'll be okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this lubrication. This is like some Molly grease. Lubricate the entire input shaft. We wanna make sure the splines and basically the front part of the input shaft are lubricated. That way they slide into the clutch assembly real easily. And then we'll have good movement of the throwout bearing along the rear end of the input shaft. So we're just gonna lubricate that up, and then we'll get ready to go ahead and put in the, oh, looks like you're already putting in the new flywheel.
Yep, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these finger tight, get them all the way down, then we're gonna do opposite pattern. So bottom, top, left, right, then do the other 4.
All right, so we have it all lubricated, and it basically will glide along the shaft nice and easily now. And this is how it is supposed to sit on the fork. So that way, when you engage your pressure plate, it's forward like this. And when you push the clutch, it pulls it back away from the clutch. So that's how that works. And now we're gonna go ahead and focus on getting the pressure plate and the clutch on. And he's finishing the flywheel.
Also, just want to say, just make sure you guys always brake clean the surface of the flywheel and the pressure plate, because they are both shipped with shipping oil to make sure that they don't rust, and that will contaminate your clutch and screw everything up. So make sure that you guys go ahead and brake clean that.
All right, so now we're at the stage of torquing down the flywheel bolts. These are gonna go to about 55.3 on the EJ engine, and then we're gonna do the pressure plate right after this. Okay, so now we're getting the pressure plate in. We have the clutch aligned, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Clutch is aligned with the alignment tool, and pressure plate is going in. So now we're gonna go ahead and open up our clutch and get this ready to place on the flywheel. The flywheel's already placed. And this is the Performance Street Clutch from ACT. And this is used, used organic fibers, which is really cool. So we're gonna go ahead and get that in there. We already did put some lube on the clutch splines, so we don't need to do that, the input shaft splines, I mean. And here is our alignment tool. So we're gonna use this guy to put this in. We have the pressure plate and we have the clutch underneath it. We're gonna go ahead and use our alignment tool so we can make sure that everything is all lined up. And we are gonna line it up here with the pilot bearing on the flywheel. And once it's lined up, which it is now, we can glide it through and on. And what we have to do is we have to make sure these little pins line up. So we turn the pressure plate until it lines up, which it lines up there, but it doesn't line up anywhere else. So we keep turning it until we get to where it lines up. And this might be the one, which it lines up there,
You just got banged
lines
in.
up there, and it lines up here. So this is the proper placement for the pressure plate. Now, the biggest thing is you got to make sure that the clutch is aligned within. As you can see, the clutch can float around inside there. So we got to make sure it's nice and straight for when we go to re-engage the input shaft into where it needs to go. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and screw in the pressure plate. These are at 11.8 foot-pounds of torque, and we will bring the transmission back into its home. All right, so they have torqued down the flywheel and the pressure plate. And if you look, we are pretty dead center lined up there with our alignment tool. So now we are ready to go ahead and put the entire clutch assembly back onto the input shaft. And like we did earlier, we already greased it all up. So let's go ahead and make that happen now. All right, guys, so we got the transmission to line up. It went very smoothly. I've already popped the axles back in. We've already got the drive shaft in. We have the linkage done. We are on our way to finishing up this Subie. All right, guys, so unfortunately, I have to go back home, and so I have to leave the car here. However, Christian is gonna be finishing up this job for us here at BoxerBaddies. But we have the clutch, transmission, everything's all back together. I even got the axles and everything done. And so basically all Christian has to do is reattach a couple of the bolts on the top, the starter, a couple electrical connections, refill the transmission, and it's done. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. It was a blast to make. And that is how you do another STI transmission, pulling it out, clutch. I can't even talk, I'm so tired. Skit.